What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Loki, and today we about to be talking about the Roland P-6. This thing is the newest sampler by Roland, and it's only coming in at 219 bucks. Initially, I didn't think much of it, but once I heard that you can change the sample rates, that's when I knew I had to cop it. So if you follow me on Patreon, you might know that just a couple days ago, I had the chance to pick this up. And since that time, I've just been trying to figure out the workflow and see if this thing can do boom bap. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys the first beat I made on this joint. And yeah, man, hopefully you guys enjoy it. Keep in mind, I did use the SP404SX just for some compression.
Because green is one of the 6 sacred colors and is the symbol of justice. Because green is one of the 6 sacred colors and is the symbol of justice. Because green is one of the 6 sacred colors and is the symbol of justice.
Rocket scientist.
Because green is one of the 6 sacred colors and is the symbol of justice. Because green is one of the 6 sacred colors and is the symbol of justice. Because green is one of the 6 sacred colors and is the symbol of justice. Because green...
All right, so there you have it. That's the beat right there. Keep in mind, I did use the compression over from the 404SX. It's right here out of frame, but yeah, I did use the compression from that just to wake up the beat. But besides that, that joint was made 100% on the P-6. I'll start off with the drums. But the workflow is really useful. So the way that I recorded this was just hi-hat, then the snare, then the kick drum, then the ghost notes, and then this extra little hi-hat that I used chromatic mode to just kind of have some different hits. But yeah, this is how the hi-hats sound. Let me go ahead and just have everything muted but the hi-hats. Then we eventually added them snares. Then a kick drum. Then the ghost notes. But yeah, these one shots were actually recorded from a drum pack that I released exclusively for Patreon. When I recorded those one shots, those drum one shots, I recorded them at a sample rate of, I believe, 11 or 14 kilohertz. And that really just made the drums sound dirty. It took out a lot of the high end. So whenever I felt like a one shot needed some high end, I would just turn on that lo-fi, because as you can see, most of my one shots have it, and when they don't have the lo-fi, they just lack the higher frequency. So I just kind of use that as a way to build up the higher frequencies. And I actually kind of adjusted how much lo-fi effect was on these drums. So I don't want to mess this kick drum up. Let me go ahead and do this one. This doesn't have any lo-fi, so I would turn on the lo-fi and kind of adjust the way that lo-fi effect is sounding. So with the pitch knob, I can really just get it perfect. And then I'll just set on that, hit that. All right, so hit C to exit, get out of that. And yeah, that was a little bit of the processing that I did. I also did some resampling on here just to bake in, you know, some EQ settings. So I would use the effect on pad C, the M effects on pad C, and that's kind of like the EQ or whatever. So as you can hear, so I would just affect that and try to get my my drums just to sound right, and eventually they were sounding perfect. So moving on to the sample chops, you guys might recognize this sample. Absolute gem of a sample right there. I had to flip it on the P-6. Let me go ahead and go to empty pad just to show you guys how I got these chops. So what I did was, say if I want to copy this pad, all I gotta do is hit the pad, hit shift and the play button, which is also copy, hit enter. I want to paste it to this pad, hit enter again, and there we go, it's all done. And then on this pad, I will go ahead and hit shift, voice, go over the chop, and then enter. And I would usually just do 16 chops. You can do 16, 12, however much you want. I felt like I was getting some good chops at 16, so I went with that, and then it went ahead and chopped it up. Got to make sure that you're on the actual keyboard, so you got to hit keyboard, or else you're just going to be on the sequencer and you're going to be putting in sequences for that one chop. So yeah, I hit keyboard and it gave me my chops. So I recorded these two different sample pads at 14 kilohertz, I believe, as well. And as you can see, I added that lo-fi effect just to get it sounding right, because without it, this is how it sounds. It sounds cool without it, but I kind of wanted that grit, that dirty lo-fi sound. So yeah, we just left that joint on. Once I had my drums sounding how I wanted to sound, and I had the chops chopped up, that's when I went ahead and got this little sequence. Let me go ahead and go to the change up. So I hit pattern to go to my different patterns that I have, and this is a little change up that I recorded. So to get this little change up, basically what I did was I copied this pattern. If you don't know how to copy your patterns, when you're on pattern mode, hit copy, hit pattern, go ahead and hit enter, and then you select what pad you want to paste it to. All right. So I don't want to copy this one, but if I did want to copy this one, it would be on bank 11. So let's see. It will go to done, get out of that, and let's go find bank 11 or pattern 11. And there we go. It's copied on there. So yeah, that was the change up right there. And I kept it real simple with this beat. I didn't really know how to use this machine. There's still a bunch of features on here that I'm not using. And there's a lot of menu diving that you can do and just kind of go through here and really just see what all this stuff does. So yeah, once we had everything sounding right, we applied the cassette effect onto the sample chops. So it's only affecting these three pads. The drums are not being affected. As you can see, that's where they're dimly lit, whereas these are brightly lit. And so we had that cassette effect. So yeah, I like to keep this control 3 knob at around the 8 o'clock area. With the cassette noise, I don't like to have too much noise, especially since we're going to have that compression. So I keep that noise low, and then I just kind of affect control 1 knob just slightly. I don't really want to have too much because that's going to take out too much bass. But yeah, you could just slightly, just to change it up a little bit. And yeah. And then once we add that compression, it just wakes everything up.
Because green is one of the 6 sacred colors and is the symbol of justice. Because green is one of the 6 sacred colors and is the symbol of justice. Because green is one of the 6 sacred colors and is the
also
symbol
add that filter.
of justice. Because green is one of the 6 sacred colors and is the symbol of justice.